Did a single spark in 1666 ignite not just the Great Fire of London, but a secret plan to reshape the city and the world forever? Stay tuned for more. Welcome back to the Jeremy Ryan Slate Show. I am your host, Jeremy Ryan Slate, the CEO and co-founder of Command Your Brand, your source for appearing on top podcasts. You can check us out over at commandyourbrand.com. Reminder to like this video, leave us a comment, and smash that subscribe button if you want to learn more about hidden history. Also, you can find me on X. I am at Jeremy Ryan Slate. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most explosive moments in history, literally. The year is 1666, and London is about to go up in flames. But was the Great Fire of London just a tragic accident, or was there something bigger at play? We're unpacking all the historical context, key players, dates, places, and yes, a few conspiracies. That'll make you question literally everything. This is a story of destruction, rebirth, and maybe, just maybe, a hidden agenda that changed the world. So grab a seat, hit that subscribe button, and let's get started. All right, let's transport ourselves back to 1666. Picture this. London is the beating heart of England, a bustling, chaotic city of about 500,000 people. It's a maze of narrow, winding streets, packed with wooden houses that lean so close together you can practically shake hands with your neighbor. Most buildings are made of timber, coated with pitch to keep out the rain, which, let me tell you, makes them basically kindling, waiting for a spark. This is a city of contrasts. Wealthy merchants live in grand homes near the River Thames, while just a few streets away, the poor are crammed into filthy tenements. The air smells of coal smoke, horse manure, and the occasional whiff of the Thames, which is basically an open-air sewer. Sanitation? It barely exists. Fire safety? Forget about it. Buckets of water and a prayer are all they've got for you. So now let's talk about the bigger picture. England in 1666 is in a rough spot. King Charles II is on the throne, restored to power just 6 years earlier in 1660 after the English Civil War and the execution of his father, Charles I, back in 1649. The country's still healing from that trauma, and there's tension everywhere. Between Catholics and Protestants, between the king and Parliament, and between England and its rivals like the Dutch and the French. Oh, and let's not forget, 1665, the year before, was a nightmare. The Great Plague hit London hard, killing nearly 100,000 people, about a fifth of the city's population. Bodies were piled in the streets, and fear was everywhere. People thought the end times were coming, especially because, get this, the year 1666 contains the number 666, the number of the beast from the Bible. Apocalyptic vibes? Oh yeah. So that's the scene. A crowded, flammable city, a traumatized population, and a sense that God might just be about to hit the reset button. Now let's zero in on that moment everything changed forever. It's the early hours of Sunday, September the 2nd, 1666. The place? A small bakery on Pudding Lane, owned by a guy named Robert Fariner. Around 1 a.m., a spark from his oven, probably not fully extinguished from the night before, catches some nearby firewood. Within minutes, the bakery is ablaze. Now, you might be thinking, a fire? No big deal, right? Wrong. London's houses are packed so tightly that the flames leap from one building to the next, like they're playing hopscotch. The fire moves fast, fueled by strong east wind and those pitch-soaked wooden structures I mentioned earlier. By dawn, Pudding Lane is a wall of flames, and the fire's spreading west very quickly. Here's where things get messy. London's got no real fire department. The Lord Mayor, a guy named Sir Thomas Bludworth, is woken up and told about the fire. His response? Well, he basically shrugs and says, "Psh, a woman could put it out with a bucket of water." Spoiler alert, he's wrong. By Sunday afternoon, the fire's out of control. People are grabbing whatever they can carry and fleeing. Some head for the Thames, piling their belongings into boats. Others run to open spaces like Moorfields, a park north of the city. The diary of Samuel Pepys, one of our best sources for this event, writes about the chaos. People screaming, flames roaring, and the sky glowing red. Pepys even climbs the steeple of a church to get a better view and says it's like the city's being swallowed by a bow of fire. Now let's talk about the response, or lack thereof. King Charles II gets involved by Monday, September the 3rd. He orders buildings to be pulled down to create fire breaks. Those are gaps to stop the flames from spreading. But it's not enough. The fire's too fast and the wind's too strong. By Tuesday, September 4th, the flames have devoured St. Paul's Cathedral, a massive medieval church that was the heart of London. Its lead roof melts, pouring molten metal into the streets. The fire burns for 4 days, from September 2nd to September 5th, 1666. When it finally dies out, thanks to a change in the wind and some gunpowder explosions used to create a bigger fire break, about 80% of the city is gone. We're talking about 13,200 houses, 87 churches, and countless businesses. The official death toll is low, only 6 people, but historians think it's probably higher, since many poor folks likely weren't counted. So that's the fire itself. But here's where we start to dig deeper. Was this just an accident or some sort of more going on? Let's get into the juicy stuff. All right, folks, this is where we put our tinfoil hats on, just like my friend Sam Tripoli, and ask the big question. Was the Great Fire of London really just a bakery mishap, or was something else at hand? Londoners in 1666 were quick to point fingers, and let me tell you, they had some wild theories. This episode is sponsored by Brave TV Health. Friend of the show, Dr. Jason Dean, is somebody that has helped me with numerous health issues over the years. One of which that I dealt with a few years ago was a terrible parasite issue. I had been all over the world, and I don't know if I picked it up from Peru or China or what it might be, but I picked up some really bad parasites called liver fluke. And I will tell you, Dr. Dean helped me with this immensely. So we have a really great detox that Dr. Dean is offering to all of our listeners out there. There is also a promo code and a discount if you go with us. So go to bravetv.health/JRS, or you can use promo code JRS at bravetv.health and check out the parasite cleanse he's got over there. Anything you do there helps to support the show and helps us to continue doing what we're doing. bravetv.health/JRS. Check them out today. Support Dr. Dean. He is a huge supporter of the show, and I know this will help your health as it has helped mine. First up, the Catholics. England in 1666 is super Protestant, and Catholics are seen as suspicious outsiders. The fact that the fire started just a year after the plague, and in a year with 666 in it, people who were thinking it was divine punishment, or worse, a Catholic Papist plot. Rumors spread that Catholic agents, maybe even Jesuits, which we're still a bit cautionary of today, were seen throwing fireballs into houses to start the blaze. One poor guy, a French watchmaker named Hubert, got caught in the crosshairs. Hubert, who was probably mentally unstable, confessed to starting the fire, claiming he was a Catholic agent working for none other than the Pope. The problem is there's no evidence he was even in London when the fire started, and his story kept changing. Still, the authorities needed a scapegoat, so they hanged him on October 1666. Case closed? Not quite. Most historians today think Hubert was innocent, just a convenient fall guy, our Lee Harvey Oswald of the day. Then there's the foreign powers theory. England was at war with the Dutch and the French in 1666, part of the Second Anglo-Dutch War. Some Londoners thought Dutch or French spies started the fire to weaken England. There were even reports of mobs attacking Dutch immigrants in the streets of London. But again, no solid evidence. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Some modern historians, and yeah, few conspiracy buffs like myself, wonder if the fire was allowed to burn, maybe even encouraged, by powerful people in London. Think of it as a 1666 false flag. Why? Well, to clear out the old, overcrowded city and make way for a shiny new one. Think about London in 1666. It was a mess, plague-ridden, filthy, and hard to control. A fire could be a convenient reset button for the elites, just like it had been for Nero. One name that comes up is Sir Christopher Wren, the famous English architect. Wren had big ideas for rebuilding London even before the fire, and some whispers he and other insiders saw the blaze as a golden opportunity. We'll get to Wren's role in a bit, but keep this in mind. The fire destroyed a lot, but it also created a blank slate. Coincidence? Maybe. So the fire's out and London's in ruins. What happens next? This is where the story shifts from destruction to rebirth, and it's a fascinating chapter in London's history. King Charles II doesn't waste any time. By September 1666, he's already calling for plans to rebuild the city. Enter Sir Christopher Wren, the rock star of 17th century architecture. Wren, who's 33 years old at the time, submits a bold plan just weeks after the fire. He wants to transform London into a modern city with wide boulevards, grand plazas, and stone buildings inspired by Paris and Rome. Wren's plan is ambitious, but here's the catch. It's too expensive, and London's property owners don't want to give up their land. I can't blame them, who would? So instead of a total overhaul, the city is rebuilt on roughly the same medieval street plan. But there are some big changes. New laws passed in 1667 say all buildings have to be made of brick or stone, not wood. Chimneys have to be wider, and streets made a bit broader to prevent another fire. Wren still gets to leave his mark. He designs 51 new churches, including his masterpiece, the new St. Paul's Cathedral, which starts construction in 1675 and isn't finished until 1710. If you've ever seen St. Paul's with its massive dome, you know it's a game changer. Wren also designs other landmarks, like the monument, a 202-foot column near Pudding Lane. That commemorates the fire itself. And you can still visit that today. The rebuilding isn't just about buildings, it's about ideas. The fire sparks a new focus on science and city planning. In 1666, the Royal Society, a group of scientists including Wren and Robert Hooke, is already pushing for progress. The fire gives them a chance to experiment with new construction techniques and urban planning and design. Some even say it helps to lay the groundwork for the Enlightenment, that explosion of reason and innovation in the 1700s, which America clearly benefited from. But not everyone benefits. The poor who lost their homes often can't afford to rebuild. Many are pushed out to the suburbs, while wealthier folks snap up prime real estate. London becomes a more divided city, with the rich in the west and the poor in the east. A divide you can still see today. All right, let's zoom out and look at the big picture. The Great Fire of London wasn't just a tragedy. It was a turning point. It transformed London from a medieval city into a modern one, setting the stage for it to become the global powerhouse that it is today. The fire forced England to rethink everything: architecture, urban planning, even how to fight fires. By the 1700s, London had fire brigades and insurance companies, both born out of the lessons of the 1666 Great Fire. The fire also had a cultural impact. It fueled debates about religion, science, and progress. The fact that it happened in 1666, with all that 666 symbolism, kept people talking about divine judgment versus human ingenuity. And let's not forget the conspiracies, which I love. Even today, you'll find some folks on X who argue the fire was no accident. Posts on X often bring up Wren, the Catholics, or even secret societies like the Freemasons, though there's no hard proof for really any of that. So what's the takeaway? The Great Fire of London shows us how a single event can reshape a city, a nation, and maybe even the world. It's a story of chaos, but also of resilience. And yeah, it leaves us with questions. Was it just a spark in a bakery, or was there a bigger plan afoot? I'll let you decide. But before we wrap up, I want to hear from you. Head over to X, I'm at Jeremy Ryan Slate, and tell me, what do you think caused the Great Fire? An accident, a conspiracy, or something else I haven't mentioned? And if you love this deep dive, hit that subscribe button, share this video, and check out other episodes where we uncover the hidden stories of history. Also, in the description, don't forget to support our sponsors as they help this show to stay on the road and help us to continue to be able to deliver this for you each and every week. Thanks for joining me on the Jeremy Ryan Slate Show. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and I'll see you on the next one.